What's up guys, Josh here. We're going back to the basics, yo. Gimbal videos, gimbal training videos. Believe it or not, I've come up with a few new techniques that are gonna get you the smoothest gimbal shots possible. In today's video, we're gonna be mainly focusing on low angle gimbal shots. So without further ado, let's get started. So as is tradition in Los Angeles, I got kicked out of the park for filming, but that ain't gonna stop me from filming this tutorial video. All right, so luckily I'm on a little electric unicycle, helps me get around town pretty easily. But LA is my city, born and raised here. We're gonna get this tutorial done no matter what, guys. So we're at some parking lot right now. This isn't the prettiest setting, but in today's video, it's not really about the setting, it's more about how to execute the shot. If you've been following my channel on YouTube for a while now, you know that I'm obsessed with gimbals. I don't mean to gloat, but I think I'm one of the best gimbal operators here on YouTube. And that's why most of my gigs that I get hired on is to operate either a standard stabilizer, the one with counterweights, or to use a gimbal. So that's what I'm known for. That's what I really have been mastering in. The key to mastering low angle shots is stability. Most people think that when they purchase a gimbal, that the gimbal is going to do all the stabilization for them. No, the gimbal is responsible for about 30%, believe it or not. That's why they're making smart gimbals that have these cool time-lapse features, because companies know that people are still unhappy with their shots when using a gimbal, simply because they don't know how to use it properly. All right, so security just passed by, sorry. You didn't say anything, so we're good. But basically, look, with a wide-angle lens at 16 mil, camera slightly tilted up, you can get really epic shots. I mean, this is not the most beautiful shot in the world, but you can see like how it can come out. You know, if we speed up, walk forward, walk back, you can start seeing what we can get with these types of shots. Now let's go over some of the techniques and I'll show you how I'm able to achieve the smoothest low angle shots. Now, whenever you're doing these low angle shots with the camera tilted up, it's important to get some sort of foreground, because with foreground, you'll be able to see movement. So for example, the foreground that I have in this shot, even though it's not the most gorgeous shot in the world, is the asphalt, the concrete, the asphalt, the floor in general. That's basically the only way we can actually detect movement. And because the frame is slightly getting larger on this big building, those are the only two factors, and the trees that are slightly moving, but mainly it's because of the floor. So whenever you're doing low angle shots like this, whenever you're showcasing a large building and you're trying to exaggerate it with a 16 mil or wider lens, get close to the ground. Very, very close. If you notice, I'm probably about less than 3 inches away from hitting the ground. Be very careful at what you're doing, with what you're doing, but trust me, you gotta risk it a little bit for that biscuit, okay? But another thing that I want you to focus on is how I'm holding the gimbal. Again, single-handed, my thumb goes right under the pan motor of the gimbal, and don't worry if you have any other gimbal, this technique works almost exactly the same, depending on the type of accessories that you're using with that gimbal. Believe it or not, my grip is very loose. It's very, very loose. Simply because I don't want to tire out my forearm. All right, that's very important. And the looser it is, the smoother you are, because the gimbal feels more free. It acts more free. And once you do these exercises, like right now I'm not really focusing on the shot. I'm more just trying to get a feel. Just get a feel. Look how loose my grip is on the gimbal. Because I'm so locked in, because of that palm rest, I'm not gonna drop the gimbal. My forearm's not gonna tire out, and the gimbal overall is gonna perform so much better. Same thing goes for this top handle here. I'm not gonna grip it hard. I'm gonna grip it loosely. The grip on the handle is also what's helping me keep a firm grip on this gimbal. I don't have to really hold on to it tight. just have a slight grip and you won't slip. Just trust yourself on this and get a feel for the movement of the gimbal. The looser you are, the less contact you have overall with the gimbal, the smoother your shots are gonna come out. So we're at a new location. Can you guess why? Pretty sure your guess is accurate. But anyway, few more techniques I want to talk to you about, and that is my stance, how I actually form up my body to make sure that I'm pretty solid when recreating these movements for you guys. It's really important to have a solid foundation in the ground, to have a solid foundation in your body. It's honestly a workout. So if you feel like you need to strengthen up your core, chest, arms, now is your chance to start working with weights. Believe it or not, the body grows extremely fast. So if you're new to weight training or anything like that, you'll start getting stronger very quickly. All right, so now the camera is off of the gimbal so you guys can get a different perspective on how I do these shots. And yeah, so basically this is how I'm holding the gimbal. Don't forget, you're gonna get a pretty loose grip, regardless if it's on this top panel here or if it's on the grip on the gimbal. Loose is better, believe it or not, but you wanna make sure that the grip on the gimbal, the rubber grip, is really having a solid grip on your hand, or vice versa, okay? That's really important. These newer gimbals are much more ergonomic and much better to hold, so it should be harder for your gimbal to slip, all right? That's the form. That's all it is. And of course, I'm walking heel to toe. So let's go ahead and press record. Again, these shots aren't gonna be the most poetic, all right? But this is how it's coming out. All right, this is in real time, not in slow motion. Okay, now with these simple dolly in and dolly out shots, I'm leaning forward and back, distributing the weight between my two legs, front to back, back to front. And because I'm shooting on a 16 mil, it makes it that much smoother. Now let's add some steps, heel to toe and knees bent. Try not to arch your back too much. Keep a solid foundation and you're gonna get very nice, smooth shots. And notice the ground that I'm walking on, very uneven. So that adds to the overall challenge of getting this shot. So just so you have a close-up on how I'm actually gripping the gimbal, look at this. That's how I'm gripping it, very loose. Look at the other side. If I was really holding onto it tight, you could see the redness in my fingers start to appear. I'm very loose. That's how I'm holding it. Same thing with the top handle. Holding it like this. A big part of this is the confidence. I know that some of you are gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna drop a $3,000 camera. I understand that. Work your way up. Start with a firm grip and then start loosening up. Trust me, the looser you are, the better your gimbal's gonna behave. And notice how I'm not using two hands anymore. Just one hand. That's honestly all you really need. And it's as easy as that. Now another quick tip, if you're on smooth pavement or you're in a tight space, instead of doing those long strides, which I really like, feel free to do baby steps because in certain occasions, you'll get smoother shots. So for example, just like that. It takes practice, it takes time. So don't stress out too much if you're not getting it. Gimbals are a tool, but you're the master. So master your tool. Yeah, that's my motivational quote for today. All right, guys, I hope this video has helped you out. Stay tuned for more gimbal training videos. My techniques have completely changed, especially lately. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Ow. Yeah, I just got pricked by A cactus.